Hi everyone, this is Marianne and welcome to my channel for another video. Today I just thought I would share with you my unboxing and setup of this new 15-inch MacBook Pro that I purchased recently. Now, as you know, I have a 7-year-old MacBook Air that's 11 inches, and I showed it last time in my what's in my backpack video, which I will link down below. And I've had that laptop since November 2010. And I have gotten a lot of use out of that laptop. I was able to start and grow my YouTube channel using that laptop. That's where I edit all of my videos, and that's where I managed all of the contents of my iPhone, which I also use as my one and only camera for my YouTube channel ever since I started my YouTube channel. But of course, in the world of technology, I cannot hold on to that laptop forever, because even though I continue to upgrade and update my software, there will always come a time when the hardware of that laptop is not going to be able to keep up with the demands or the requirements of the software. So I decided to go ahead and make a big leap forward and purchase the 15-inch MacBook Pro, and here we are unboxing it. It is in the space gray color, also a color that I have never used before. I've always purchased just the aluminum finish of all Mac laptops. Here is the inside of the cover. It has this white felt-like or paper or non-woven lining, and it has a tiny barcode. And the laptop itself is wrapped in that matte plastic. It's a transparent plastic. It's the same kind of plastic that is used as a wrapping for the Apple Watch. And the old Mac that I had didn't used to be wrapped this way. I think at some point, a couple of years ago, Apple changed the way they packed their merchandise, and I am really liking how they did it. This is very, very minimal, and even the box is quite small, because I remember I used to have another 15-inch MacBook Pro in around 2007, and the box was huge. And inside the box, there are the usual things. First, there is this small packet of some brochures or literature relating to the 15-inch MacBook Pro. It contains some instructions and some warranty information and a quick start guide, and of course those two Apple stickers that comes in every single Mac gadget that we buy. And it comes in this little cardboard packet that can open and close just like so. And then underneath that packet is this charging brick, and it looks the same as the old charging bricks, but with a distinct difference that I am going to show you later. And this here is the USB-C or the Thunderbolt cable, and that is really the main difference between the charging cables of old and this one. And there is really nothing else inside this box except those items that I just showed you. Now, this one no longer comes with that extension cord that the old Macs used to come in, but that's perfectly okay, because I always use a different extension cord anyway. I purchase the branded ones from the hardware store, and I always put that in my backpack whenever I go to school. And now for the laptop itself, it is very, very thin. It has two USB-C or Thunderbolt ports on the left side, and it has two more of those ports on the right side, together with an audio jack. It's the regular 3.5mm audio jack that comes in every single Mac laptop ever since. And like I said, I got the space gray MacBook Pro, and I got the version with the touch bar. I saw this in the store and I just thought it was so sexy. Now it doesn't really look so space gray in the video because of the lighting, but I used to get the silver ones, which is all that was available, but they made the color choices available a couple of years back. However, since I have not purchased a new Mac in 7 years, so I never really got to choose. So here it is now. Once I opened the Mac, it turned itself on automatically, and here we can see the setup options. I'm just choosing my country, which is Philippines, and that will automatically set the correct date and time of the laptop. And from here on out, it's pretty much standard. The only difference really is that I had to set my Touch ID on the laptop, which I never had to do before because there was no Touch ID in previous Macs that I have owned. I was pretty surprised that the new chargers came this way. The charging brick or the plug was actually a separate thing from the cable, and the cable is the USB-C or Thunderbolt, which has the same plugs on either side or on both sides of the cable, so you can interchange them. And at first I was thinking, why make two different parts when there can be just one? But then again, I figured out it would be multifunction because I can use the cable for data, and then whenever I am not charging the laptop, I can use that USB-C port for something else. So I thought it was actually pretty cool. I don't really have any devices that are already ready with a USB-C or a Thunderbolt port or cable, so I also purchased a dongle. But for the most part, I can already see the possibilities of this kind of charging. I also took some time to familiarize myself with the touch bar. I didn't really read up on what it was for, but I thought that because I have been using a Mac since around the 1990s, and I've always found it so easy to use, and I've never really felt the need to read any of the instruction manuals with it, either the printed ones that came with it or online. I figured that I try to figure out the touch bar without reading up on it first, and it was pretty easy. And this is another thing that I like about the Macs, because the design of it, not just how it looks but how it works, is also very intuitive. It's very easy to learn and to be familiar with. And if you have been on my channel long enough, you would know that I always have this habit of putting things back into their original packaging for storage when I'm not using it. So even that cardboard coil that the cable came with, I just put it back together and then put it back into the original box. Even that plastic that the charger came wrapped in, I just simply put it back into the box and in its same place inside the box, together with that big plastic that also wrapped the laptop itself. And then after the things have been put back into the box, I put the box away, ready to put it into storage, and then I went back into the laptop and tried to see what was new. It was already on OS 10 Sierra, and I'm also on OS 10 Sierra on my MacBook Air 11-inch, the one that's 7 years old. And of course, it is a little bit slow, but amazingly, it can still edit all of my YouTube videos for me. But I am expecting that this new laptop is going to be infinitely faster when doing those same sort of tasks. So I just continued with the the setting up of the MacBook Pro, I usually set up the usernames first. Of course, there is always me as the administrator, and then I also set up another username, another user profile for my son. Um, the 11-inch MacBook Air that I used to have is going to him. He's not a Mac user, he's always been on the PC, but I would like him to try out the Mac and see if he likes it. And that's why I'm giving him my old 11-inch MacBook Air to play around with. So he's going to be an administrator of that laptop, but just in case he wants to use this one, I also have set up a user profile for him here. And then the next thing that I did was to download the applications and software that I need and that I use every single day. I downloaded Adobe InDesign and then Adobe Illustrator and then Adobe Photoshop. These are the three softwares that I use every single day for work and for personal. And I also have downloaded Adobe Acrobat, the professional version. The Adobe is now on the Creative Cloud, and I already have a user account with Creative Cloud. It's already a subscription-based thing that I renew every year, and I really like it. It works really fast, and I can store some of my working files in the cloud, like for work. For our design files, we are not dependent on the shared folders that are hosted by the office. Instead, we use the cloud facilities provided by Adobe. Another thing that I like that is new to me in this laptop is the very big trackpad, and here I am trying to set up the gestures on the trackpad because the trackpad in the 11-inch MacBook Air is pretty small and I don't really remember setting it up. I don't think the trackpad came with options for the gestures, but this one has the options to set the gestures. So that's what I did. And by the way, here is the dongle that I mentioned. It's the USB-C to USB adapter. It is for use by me because none of my gadgets are USB-C or Thunderbolt ready. So I had to purchase this separately from the same supplier where I purchased the 15-inch MacBook Pro. I actually forgot to get it delivered together with my MacBook Pro, so I had to request for this separately, which is perfectly fine. And it comes like this. And because I purchased only one, which is for use temporarily, I am only going to be able to use one USB device with the Mac laptop. But eventually I'm going to be able to acquire more USB-C cables. So I'm going to be able to use all of the four USB-C ports of the laptop. So for now, let's try it out. I attached an ordinary USB flash drive to the adapter and then plugged the adapter into the laptop. And as you can see, the flash drive lit up and I was able to see it displayed as a mountable disk on the desktop of the MacBook Pro. So the adapter works. I will be using this adapter for my disk burner for the external hard drives that I currently have that are currently USB 2.0, and for my flash drives, of course, and for my iPhone, which still has that Lightning to USB cable. Other peripherals too, like the printers and the scanners, I will be using this adapter for in the meantime. I remember that whenever I would set up all of my other laptops that came before this, I would load it with so many different applications and software that I knew I would need and that I thought I would probably need without even thinking about it first. And so I ended it with so many different things into my laptops. But for this particular laptop, I didn't really need to load it so much because at this point in time, I have already figured out what I need in life and in laptops. And this is just me playing around with the touch bar. I really like the touch bar. I know that so many non-Mac laptops have more advanced technology, like they even have the touch screens. And so this touch bar is kind of like a step back in technology, but I don't really mind. This is the very first laptop that I have with a touch bar, so I'm pretty amused. I can see myself using this laptop for many years, even also for another 7 years, I think. Well, I hope. One major thing that I really appreciate with Mac laptops is that they last for a really long time and they function really well the whole time. Every single day, they're just so very efficient. And all of the Mac laptops that I have owned in the past never gave me any problems. I even still have the PowerBook G4 12-inch laptop that I had in 2004 to 2007, and the only problem with it was that the charger died, but the laptop and the battery itself are still okay. Now I am still in search of a charger for that, so I can still retrieve some of the files that I know I still have on there. But for now, I'm pretty happy with the choice that I made. I think the space gray is really sexy, and I'm really amused with the touch bar, and I like that I purchased the one with the highest specs available. And I'm really looking forward to continuing my YouTube channel with the use of this laptop and also writing my entire thesis for my graduate studies with this laptop. And that is my video for you today. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, bye!